After lots of testing, this is probably the best way to rank up in Deadlock. What I've discovered by playing a ton of ranked matches, and hopefully you also have discovered by now, is that one of the biggest keys to ranking up is you need to narrow your roster down to your best heroes with carry potential. And doing so, your rank will skyrocket. Of course, outcomes may vary. If you have only quote-unquote bad heroes on your roster, in parentheses, heroes that are not the meta, they will only end up weighing you down, especially in the higher ranks where your draft and hero picks mean your game is decided before it even begins. Now, another major factor why you're losing your ranked games is that either you or your teammates, or maybe even both, are having poor communication. See, in the realm of MOBAs, effective communication is a cornerstone of success. These games demand teamwork, coordination, and strategy, all of which hinge on clear and consistent communication among teammates, and here's why it's so essential. Although sometimes it doesn't seem so important, MOBA games are highly strategic, requiring players to align on objectives such as lane assignments, when to go for ganks and jungle rotations, things like this. A lot of the time people don't talk in the pre-match area. When you're waiting for all the people to load in, this is where you can quickly assess if you need to swap lanes with people and to try to come up with a game plan. Although it seems like this is all pretty self-explanatory, a lot of people don't utilize this tool, your microphone. There's nothing wrong with communicating to teammates, unless of course you're just toxic. Now, something that sets apart MOBAs like Deadlock from other games is that there's real-time adaptation. Most of the time, matches are dynamic and fast-paced. Strategies can quickly become outdated as the enemy team reacts. Communication enables players to adapt to evolving situations, calling out enemy positions, sharing cooldown statuses, or requesting assistance in contested areas. This could easily turn a losing fight into a winning one. Now let's talk about what poor communication is. Poor communication often leads to misplays such as overlapping ultimate abilities, chasing unnecessary kills, or neglecting key objectives like towers or buffs. Now, by maintaining clear lines of communication, I know that kind of sounds cringy, I'm sorry, players can minimize errors and assure efficient use of resources and abilities. Now, in my eyes, especially in the higher ranks, I don't think there's anything wrong with telling someone not to do something. I think it's perfectly fine to tell a teammate what they're going for is not a good play, and then listing an outcome that could come from the play they're about to make. But of course, that's if your teammate wants to listen to you. Now, this might sound strange or foreign to some of you extroverts, but if you're a pretty introverted person or you're kind of shy to talk to strangers, honestly, positive communication helps foster teamwork and trust, ensuring that all players feel included and are working toward the same goal. See, encouragement and constructive feedback can motivate teammates even during tough matches. A lot of the time, if you're playing a match and your teammates start flaming you, you're either gonna do probably one or two of the options. You're either gonna reply, be toxic back, and this make the whole situation worse, or you're just gonna mute all your teammates and never talk in voice chat again. Although it is online and it is a video game, you still have to understand that words do have power to some people. Now, for example, if people are extremely rude or toxic to me personally, like say in a game, I'd probably just mute everybody. Not only is it distracting, but it's just a hindrance, and them continuously being toxic just makes me want to play worse. Now, I'm not being soft or anything. I think just people need to understand to get away from the super toxic narrative and just play the game. It's a video game. You're supposed to have fun. Even if your teammate is doing bad, they might be new, or they might not be the best player in the world, but that doesn't mean you have to sit there flaming them. Moving away from that, in MOBAs, especially like Deadlock, knowledge is power. Sharing information about enemy movements, item builds, and objectives can give your team an edge. So basically what I'm telling you is to look at your minimap, then press your push to talk button and tell your teammates what is going on. For example, warning about a missing enemy hero can save a teammate from a gank, while tracking key cooldowns can set up opportunities to exploit vulnerabilities. For whatever reason, this game has been out for quite a while and still don't even know how to properly communicate that your enemy laner is missing. Now circling around to what I previously talked about with Cohesion, but going more in depth is building morale. See, it's not only one individual that's affected. Toxicity and silence can demoralize a team. While it might seem kind of sad or cringe or whatever you want to call me by saying this, that encouraging and honestly respectful communication can boost morale. Even in a losing game, staying communicative and positive can lead to a comeback, or at the very least, a satisfying experience. See, if I'm just picking up the game for the first time and someone is super toxic to me because I don't know how to play the game, that could just give me the narrative that everyone that plays this game is just toxic and makes me not want to pick up the game anymore, and can honestly lead to a lot of people not playing the game. See, communication in MOBAs isn't just about talking, it's about sharing relevant actionable information effectively. Whether through voice chat, pings, or text, staying connected with your team can make the difference between the victory and defeat. By fostering a communicative atmosphere, players can evaluate their performance, build camaraderie, and fully enjoy the incisive teamwork that defines the MOBA genre, and that honestly defines Deadlock as a whole. And honestly, those are my two key factors to ranking up quite quickly in Deadlock. The first one being shortening your roster and playing the characters you feel comfortable on. You shouldn't change your characters in a select screen because you feel like it'll be a better team player. I much rather, for example, give up having an extra tank on my team and having someone play a character that they're actually confident on. Now, regardless, most of the time you should just play what you want to play. Even though it might be off meta and people won't like you picking it, if you're super confident and satisfied with what you pick, then go for it. And the second key point to ranking up is communication. Although this game is about team fighting and farming and pushing objectives, all of these things has to be done by some way, and that is communication. Communication 9 times out of 10 allows for a lot better outcomes. Even if it's you just simply telling someone that they did a good play or a good job or something like that, those little words might help turn a loss into a win. Now, whether you enjoyed this video or not, or if it helped you or it didn't help you, regardless, I still appreciate you stopping by and watching it. I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.